Washington. When it comes to information, the man got an arsenal. Bring you up to speed with what you need. He's a local and nationwide news feed. Let's talk about it. Dialect to do something about it. Chip got the flow wide open if you got questions about it. Man, it's the show that brings you to your raw. To solve all problems, it starts with real talk. Real talk. It's 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 real talk. Yeah. Welcome to Real Talk with your host, Chip Washington. It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk.
And here we go on this Monday evening in the city. A beautiful day. Temperatures are right around 90, 91, so not completely unbearable, but still warm nonetheless. Welcome. It is 6 o'clock straight up, which means it is time for an all-new Real Talk Memphis. I am your humble host. My name is Chip Washington, and it is great to be here with you once again in the air chair. As we prepare to do our thing for the next hour from 6 to 7 p.m. Central Time right here on the big station. I hope that you had a wonderful 4th of July holiday weekend. Many of you, 3 days off and a lot of parties, I'm sure, a lot of fireworks pop. So I hope after all of that, you still have all of your fingers and all of your toes and everything is working properly in terms of the fireworks display. I find the older I get, I still like watching them, but I keep my respectable distance far away from those things because, boy, I tell you, they can get loud, but it's a lot of fun. So welcome back. The routine continues. We're all back at work. We're all ready to get our groove on and get back together and do what we do best. In terms of this fine piece of radio broadcasting, well, I know you always want to know how you can find us. So I am happy to tell you right now we are on 91.7 on your FM dial. That would be WYXR. You can hear us live right now. You can also hear us live on the WYXR app. We are also on TuneIn. You can go there and catch us as well. And we are live streaming this evening on Facebook Live. So if you're on social media right now, you should be able to see me and or us on the screen. And when the show posts in another day or two, you can also find us on YouTube. And we are a podcast. And so as a podcast, you will be able to find us wherever it is you get your podcast. So how about that? That's a good thing to do. I'm waving to you. If y'all watching me on Facebook Live, I'm waving to you right now on the camera. So we have a good show for you this evening. There's a lot going on, and I have been all day just kind of going over stuff in my head for my individual guest in particular, the questions that I'm going to ask, because it was a busy weekend. I know it was. There were a lot of people out and about all weekend long, especially in the downtown area. And some things happened down there. We'll talk about that and digest that in a few minutes as well. But in terms of my guest, my first guest, who I'll be talking to in just a few minutes, is State Senator Raumesh Akbari. And I want to talk to her about a few things, the redistricting effort, early voting and the whole voting thing about to happen. We had an incident that happened early yesterday morning. There was a shooting in downtown Memphis where a 20-year-old man was killed by two National Guardsmen after aiming a gun at them, allegedly. We'll talk a little bit about that. She made some comments publicly today about it. And I want to talk about this school board situation, which is now kind of on hold. The appointed members are not taking over quite yet. because of a court case. And we'll talk more about that in just a few minutes as well. And a little bit later on, we'll talk county commission business. This has been quite the session in terms of the county commission. And a friend of mine who hadn't been on the show in a minute, his name is Charlie Caswel. Commissioner Charlie Caswel will be joining me at the bottom of the hour. And we'll talk about a few items as well. And a bit later on in the broadcast, they always say, you hear the expression, the future is now. Well, it really is with AI and so much other stuff happening. So I thought it would be wise to bring in a young man who heads in a group, an organization in this town that is teaching young folks all about the computer world and the technology world and everything else. He is Meka Egwuekwe. He will be joining me about in the second half hour of the show. And he is the CEO of an organization called Code Crew. And they deal with a lot of young folks. And again, they deal with the world of technology. And these kids are just really doing amazing things. And we'll talk to him about that a little bit later on. But first things first, ladies and gentlemen, we are in July, and there's always a lot of birthdays celebrated in July. But and I like to shout you out because you know what? If you can make it through another cycle, then you deserve your accolades. But I can't do that until I say, hit it, Brent. Happy birthday going out to the following folks. Tonya Wynette celebrating her birthday today, as is Myra Moses. Terry Boyd, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, B.L. Brown. Happy birthday to Mr. Jack Pirtle. That last name sounds familiar. You're familiar with Pirtle's Chicken? There you go. Tony Campbell, happy birthday. Willie Green celebrating today, as is Angela Greer, Larry Christian, Georgietta Crawford, and Tara Newman. It's a nice, healthy list of birthdays today. I wish each and every one of you, I hope you had a wonderful day of fun and celebration, maybe some ice cream, some balloons, some cake, the whole 9 yards. So happy birthday from all of us here at Real Talk Memphis, and we hope to be with you next year for your next trip around the sun. Thanks, Brent. All right, let's talk about, I have a death to announce. I know many of you probably have heard about this. Khadijah Farrakhan, who is the wife of Minister Louis Farrakhan, she died. She was 90 years of age, so she lived a wonderful life. And of course, this is, the world of Islam, and we wanted to make sure that we extended our condolences to the Nation of Islam and all of those who are mourning her loss. May her memory always be a blessing. Let us take a quick look at some news and notes. All right, so I mentioned this briefly. By now, you probably have seen or heard about an incident that happened about 4 o'clock yesterday morning in downtown Memphis. Apparently, there was a young man, according to what we have heard so far, that was, walking in the neighborhood down there or running. I don't know what he was doing, but anyway, he caught the attention of law enforcement who was patrolling down there. And apparently he had a gun. Once he saw law enforcement, he started to run. And then at some point, it has been said that he turned around with the gun and aimed the gun at the folks in the National Guard. 2 National Guardsmen fired 2 shots, striking him, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. Now, this is a situation that is starting to generate a lot of energy, and I won't say it's necessarily good energy, but what it does do is make us ask a lot of questions. You all out there realize that there was a big effort not to even have the National Guard come here. The function of them being here was just to be a presence. They had no law enforcement authority. They couldn't arrest anybody. They can't arrest anybody. Can't detain anybody. That is left up to local law enforcement and the other folks on the Memphis Safety Task Force. Well, they felt like they were threatened, and when someone turns towards you with a weapon, you don't have time to think about whether they're going to use it or not. They are trained to protect themselves if they feel threatened. And I got that information. I actually called the district attorney, Steve Mulroy, and asked that question. in reference to how folks feel about the National Guard presence here at all. Right now, the investigation is being conducted by the TBI. And again, there are a lot more questions than answers. The suspect, or the victim in this case, 20 years of age. His name was Tyron Johnson. And again, a lot of folks are very upset about all of this, but we have to wait until the investigation gets underway and continues and hopefully concludes. And I'm sure we'll have some conversation about that with some of my guests in just a few minutes. Voter registration, if you plan on voting in the election in August, tomorrow is the last day for you to register to vote. If you are of voting age, tomorrow is the last day you can register to vote and have your vote count in this August election. So if you've not taken care of that, you need to do so. Early voting, by the way, is July 17th. And the primary election in all of this comes on August 6th. So that's a quick look at news and notes in and around our city. Let's take a break. And when we come back, let's get into it. We're going to have some pretty good conversations tonight. So sit back, relax, stick around, and enjoy the next little bit of Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. Let's take a quick one. You know who you are. We'll be right back. All right.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
This is Brandy of Putting on Airs. Do you appreciate a good sad country song? If so, tune in at 9 a.m. on the first Sunday of each month where I host Sad Sack Sunday. I play only the saddest country songs and we get to waller around in our feelings a little bit together. That's right here on WYXR 91.7 FM Memphis.
Hello, friends. Are you craving a soundtrack for the supernatural? The Witching Hour is your answer. Tune in every Monday, 11 p.m. to midnight. Lock your doors, dim the lights, and let the music summon the spirits. Only on WYXR.
This is Pat Sansone. Join me for the Baroque Down Palace every Saturday from 2 to 3 p.m. here on 91.7 WYXR.
What's going on, y'all? This is Charles from Tangent Radio. I wanted to stop by to tell you a couple of things about how our show works. We go by 3 laws: sine, cosine, and tangent. So join me as I follow the signs of our iconic sounds of the past. I cosign the artist shaping what's next, and we go off on a little bit of a tangent to discover the future of music before it hits that mainstream. Tune in with me Mondays at noon here on WYXR 91.7 FM.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening in the city. Chip with you. I mentioned at the top of the show that there have been a lot of things happening in and around our city over the weekend, and not necessarily all about fireworks and celebration. And we'll get to all of that in just a couple of minutes. But my first guest, and I hadn't had her on the show in a minute. She's a very busy elected official, but I am glad she can make a few minutes for us tonight. Please welcome to the show State Senator Raumesh Akbari. And Raumesh, it is great to see you. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well, hanging in there. How are y'all?
Doing okay. So, listen, I want to backtrack a bit in terms of the session, and which was interesting on a whole bunch of fronts. And I saw you front and center on several of the items. But if you had to assess this last legislative session, how would you do that? What would you say?
I'd have to separate into two parts, right? So we had our initial legislative session, and then we had our special session for redistricting. Now, the special session for redistricting, all around, I could just say that was terrible. I mean, you took 3 districts in Memphis. I mean, 1 congressional district in Memphis, split it into 3, completely diluted the power base in the city. So that's a separate one. It was terrible. 3 days of just, I don't know. But the good thing is we do have pending lawsuits by the ACLU and NAACP. It'll probably take a year or 2, though, for those to be fully litigated. Now, the regular session, I don't know. I mean, it was, I always say this is the end of the sessions, but good, bad, and ugly, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You had some good bills that passed, some things that I worked on with colleagues. And then you also had some bad things. You had the Memphis Shelby County Schools takeover bill. You had the airports takeover bill. You had different kind of things that went through there. So it was an interesting session. Our budget passed was about $60 billion. Vouchers were almost doubled. So it was a lot going on in a short period of time.
Let's talk about the big issue, which was the redistricting effort. Many of your Republican colleagues make no bones about the fact that they want Memphis and Shelby County red. They want the entire state red, which is or Republican, which is why they launched this effort in the first place to take District 9 and split it into 3 districts, 5, 8, and 9 now. So now we have, as a consequence of all of this and these redrawing of the lines, we have big elections coming up here very, very soon. Yeah. I know not too long ago, maybe several weeks ago, there was a Souls to the Polls event that was held at Mississippi Boulevard Christian Church. A lot of folks turned up, a lot of energy in the room, the whole 9 yards. Hadn't heard much since all of that. It was a rallying cry, but from someone who processes things very thoroughly, which is you. And I know that you're not happy about the redistricting effort, and not a lot of us are. But where do we stand now in terms of what has to be done and what needs to be done in order for Democrats to have any kind of voice after this election cycle is over?
I'll tell you, folks have to vote. I know that sounds so fundamental and basic, but we have extremely low voter turnout in the state of Tennessee. And unfortunately, that's not going to cut it this time. So we have 3 different districts, the 5th district, the 8th district, and the 9th district. The 5th district, you have a young man named Chaz Mulder. He's the mayor of Columbia, Tennessee. He is a Democrat in a deeply Republican area. So I think he has a pretty good chance. You have a pretty contested primary in District 9, District 8. We'll see what happens as well. But people are going to have to vote, right? Like, the thing about Georgia is when you saw this great, turn up in people in their Senate seats being taken by 2 Democrats and more state house and state senators being elected, it's because people voted. It wasn't because you had this big influx of folks registering. I think that the Souls to the Polls event was good. It excited people. It informed people. And I think a big portion of it was for pastors in the community to go back to their respective delegations and congregations and try and continue moving forward. So, yeah, that's what people are going to have to do. And early voting starts July 17th. So The time is now.
One of the questions that often comes up in reference to politics in the state of Tennessee is that from down here, legislatively, we don't seem to get a whole lot of breaks in terms of the state house. They don't seem to. Memphis, for some whatever reason, just seems to be an area in Shelby County that really is almost like a thorn to them. And I say that, by the way, they legislate things in terms of who we are down here in all of this. This whole thing really, for many folks, Raumesh, takes us back to a time, especially folks who have born and raised in Memphis and Shelby County, lived here all their lives, takes us back to some very dark days, especially back in the 60s. And do you really think, or do you think with the people that you talk to, that you've interacted with and things like that, that people understand what is happening here and how this is an absolute dilution of the black vote here in Memphis and Shelby County?
I'll tell you, I don't think enough people understand. Part of it is because there's a little bit of apathy in the community, and also because what happened was so unexpected. It's such something that just, we haven't had to deal with in a very long time. This is a rolling back of rights. It is a splitting up of districts. I think that was part of our concern, that this would lead to mass voter confusion. You had races that were already set. The election filing period had already closed. People were campaigning. They were preparing for their individual races. So that was a big concern that was expressed by my colleagues and myself. It's something that the Tennessee Supreme Court actually ruled on in a previous redistricting lawsuit in 2022, saying, hey, we can't move the deadlines and we cannot change these maps because it would confuse voters. And there was a much longer time period for that. So yeah, I think honestly and unfortunately, we might have to go through an election cycle when people realize, hey, my member of Congress lives, 200 miles away. And that's not just for Shelby County and Memphis, because these districts split across 17, 18 counties.
Right.
I mean, they're in Middle Tennessee and West Tennessee. It includes rural, urban, and suburban, extremely poor, extremely wealthy, black, white, you name it. That's a lot of different specific interests that are going to be diluted. So it's not just Memphis is going to feel this, unfortunately.
We'll sit back, watch, and wait and see what happens in terms of the engagement of all of this. One of the other things I wanted to talk about, and you mentioned it, is this whole issue of the Memphis and Shelby County School Board and this oversight committee that has been selected by the leadership in Nashville, and that they are going to oversee the day-to-day operations as seated over the elected Memphis and Shelby County School Board members. I know you and a lot of your other colleagues were fire hot about all of this. Where we stand now, and we know that they have been selected. They were supposed to be seated on July 1st. However, the elected school board filed a temporary restraining order and got a judge to say, hold up, let us back away from this and take a look at it now for, I guess, the next 10 to 14 days. When that happened, what was your initial thought process? Because I tell you, I was very surprised when that happened.
Well, I knew the lawsuit was coming, right? Because you have people who were elected to office who ran under certain conditions, and that was dramatically changed with this new legislation. Obviously, the way that a lot of injunctions have been denied in Tennessee, I think it was a bit of a surprise. The lawsuit wasn't, the ruling was. We'll see what happens from there. I think the governor was pretty, what's the word, thoughtful about the people that he chose. They're folks that a lot of Memphians respect. Some of them have spent a lot of time in education. But we'll see, because their power would be completely overarching. I mean, from being able to veto an entire budget to line item the budget, fire any member, any staff member for Memphis Shelby County Schools. So it's pretty significant. Now, I will tell you this, the complete audit, because the only thing that has come out thus far was a preliminary report. The complete audit will be released on Wednesday. The comptroller is going to have a press conference in Nashville. We have not had an opportunity to see the report, unfortunately, but it should, I guess, in their minds, paint a bigger picture of what really happened, what's really going on. And I will say this also, Chip, it is not lost on me, and I'm not trying to sugarcoat this. There are substantial issues with the back office for Memphis Shelby County Schools,
right,
as far as their human resources, their technology, even to a certain degree, some of their, accounting principles and things like that. There obviously wasn't any fraud found. I mean, no one's going to get arrested off of this, but this is something that I felt intervention was necessary, just not this intervention. There was a compromise where we could have fixed those back office issues while also working with the duly elected school board. And if people in the community don't like them, don't like their leadership, then they vote someone else in.
And what you just said was very important, because even the elected board members said, yeah, we have some issues. There are issues that we need to take a look at that have been here for a while, that we need to retrofit and try to straighten those things out. This is obviously going to be a very dynamic situation. My sense is that in terms of the community at large, and talking about our schools and talking about the district moving forward, that there are a lot of folks here who are willing to give this board a chance just to see, because they've gotten tired of what they perceive to be ineffective and ineffective elected board. So they want to see what these new folks are going to do coming in. But to me, it all comes down to be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it in terms of all of this. But there are a lot of unanswered questions. Before I let you go, I talked at the top of the show about this incident that happened yesterday morning in downtown Memphis, where a 20-year-old was apparently, and honestly, I don't really know a whole lot about this, if he was walking up and down the street or what have you. I think there was some patrolling going on down there by law enforcement. They had heard some shots. They see this young man, and he sees them, and he starts to run. Then, according to early investigation, he turned around and wielded a weapon and aimed it at two National Guardsmen, and they fired 2 shots and killed him. I heard you earlier today. You're always very thoughtful and very reasoned about things like this. But this is another troubling incident that we don't know a whole lot about. You and Senator London Lamar both made comments about that. Just your thoughts about what happened out here and where all this might go.
Certainly. I mean, I think anytime we see the loss of life in our community, it is tragic. It's something that, a family loses a member of their family forever, right? That's final. I want to make sure that there's a really thorough investigation. There's complete transparency so that the public can be kept in the loop. This is a state-ordered intervention with the National Guard being here. And so I think transparency is going to be important. Body camera footage is going to be important to protect those who, were a part of the situation, the young man's family, the National Guard members as well. So we'll see. I don't want to jump to conclusions until I know the details. But honestly, I think in the coming days, hopefully the TBI will release additional information so people know. Because at the end of the day, we want folks to feel safe. We don't want crime on our streets, but we also want people to feel like they're being protected by law enforcement, and it's not an unjust or undue act of violence. And so we'll see.
Yeah, I think for a lot of us, like you said, we're waiting to find out. And I think the key thing that you just said that a lot of people are focused on is being transparent. Let's be clear and honest and give people the facts as they know them, and don't drag this thing along, because if that happens, then you're going to start the community is going to start to feel a certain kind of way about all of this, and then that turns out to be something completely different in all of this. Listen, I really love having you on the show, because you get right to the heart of the matter. We have a lot of issues that are coming up right now, and again, you mentioned that this election could not be any more important to all of us right now, to get out and go vote, exercise our right to vote, and let's get away from the apathy that we always seem to show right around elections. And really, we could really make a difference. We could really change this thing, could we not?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in August the 6th, you're going to have primary elections for state and federal offices, and you're going to have the general election for our county offices. In November, you're going to have the general for our governor, for our members of the U.S. Senate, or one of them, our Congress, our state elected officials. So yeah, it's very important. I mean, these elected officials decide every aspect of your life. A lot of people think, oh, I got to vote for president. That's all they think about. No, you got to vote for all these positions, and you can make a difference. Your vote does matter. I won my first election by 100 votes. Wow. So do not let anyone ever tell you it doesn't matter. It does.
Absolutely that. State Senator Raumesh Akbari, thank you, my friend, for coming on the show tonight. I really appreciate you. Best of luck, and we'll watch and wait just along with you and see what happens down the road. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you.
Absolutely. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. State Senator Raumesh Akbari, one who is very thoughtful and reasoned in her thoughts and opinions, but, need to start to focus in, especially on these elections and how critically important they are to the future of what happens down here in Memphis and Shelby County and even the state of Tennessee. Let us take another break. And when we come back, we're going to shift from a slightly bigger picture to a slightly smaller picture. We're going to talk about the Shelby County Commission with a Shelby County Commissioner. This is Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. You know who you are. We'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
This is Lulu with Cake Effects. Tune in every Saturday morning from 8 to 9 a.m. on WYXR 91.7 FM, where we play everyone who had a birthday that week.
This is Pat Sansone. Join me for the Baroque Down Palace every Saturday from 2 to 3 p.m. here on 91.7 WYXR.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening. Chip with you, and my next guest is a servant of the people, no doubt about that. And we haven't had him on the show in a while. He is very busy. I told him during the break, I always seem to catch him on county commission nights, but he is a county commissioner. And please welcome to the show our friend Charlie Caswel. It's great to see you, my friend. How you doing tonight?
All right, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. It's always good to see you. Always good to have you. You know, I wanted to talk about the county commission. It seems like, there's been a bit of a spotlight on the commission. This has been a kind of a rough, tough session here on a lot of fronts in terms of decisions and a lot of other things that are coming up. You all passed the budget in your last session. It was a marathon session. You got everything done. There was a slight property tax increase. Am I correct in that?
Yes, sir. It was.
And in terms of that, was it necessary? I mean, did it take a while to get to that point? I mean, what predicated that change?
Well, appreciate you, Chip, for allowing me on the show once again. I'll just say this, Chip, we're talking about 19 years since we seen any tax rate increase. 19 years, meaning that when my daughter, who just graduated college last year, just graduated from high school last year, in her term of K through 12, and we know a lot have changed over 19 years from seeing the pandemic hit us,
sure,
to inflation in every different way. Hit everyone household as it have hit the county, that we have kicked the can down the road. When you look at what just happened the other day at 201 Poplar with the courthouse flooding up, deferred maintenance over many years. You used to work in the sheriff department. You've been down there. You've seen what's been kicked down the road. The fact that we just built a brand new high school that's going to be opening in Fraser next year, that should have been built 5, 6, 7 years ago, that was kicked down the road. These are investments that were made at a time that should have been made. And now that it's on our watch that we are seeing these investments made, the question comes: how do you pay for these things? It's that you have to find revenue somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'll say this real in short too. When you look at the fact, when I came on this body in 2022, you had individuals living in my district and Fraser and Raleigh making $31,000 a year, poverty wages. Homes went from $700 to $800 a month rent to $1,500. Many of these people having to move in with family members, working on working for the government on poverty wages. We have to find revenue. We increased that to 41,000, and everybody across the board got raises. So it's things that had to happen that should have been to happen.
You know, and you know, that when you break it down like that for people to kind of understand, I think it makes some sense. Now, one of the things that I wanted to talk with you about, and there are three big projects. You talked about the high school. We're building a brand new hospital, Regional 1. And of course, we have the big elephant in the room, which is the jail. Now, I saw this today. I saw one of your current and soon to be former colleagues on the commission, Mick Wright, posted in reference to what is going on at the jail and the latest incident about the air being out down there and how these folks are really suffering. Charlie, you and I both know that this jail has been an albatross for quite some time. We know we need a new one. We know repairs are needed. There's just been this back and forth between Sheriff Bonner and the mayor. In looking at all of this on the plate in front of you, how do we assess this, especially with this jail situation and what happened over the weekend with the air out? And once again, these are some very, very difficult and challenging situations for you all to have to deal with. How do you do it?
Well, the problem is that, again, I appreciate my colleague, Commissioner Wright. We have, thankful to his vote, we were able to get the resources we needed to make sure we got this Fraser High School in Regional 1. But at the same time, it was before we came on this body in 2022 that the matter of the jail was a problem in the situation. CTAS gave a report saying that a jail needed, some address needed to be done to that jail. But it takes some courageousness and boldness and people willing to tell the people that we have to make investments on buildings that was built 50 and 60 years ago. Many of our children are still going to school in buildings that was built 100 years ago, and we're asking what's wrong. The problem is not what's wrong, it's what happened. What happened is we didn't have courageous leadership that was willing to tell the people we need to make investments or we're going to have problems like we're facing today. So this is what's happening is that we have delayed and kicked the can down the road. It's been a problem. I know before I got on this body, it was chillers in the middle of Poplar, going up into 201 Poplar, trying to keep the building cool because the air conditioning was out in the building. And so, you know, we just at a place now that we cannot continue to just kick the can down the road. Be honest with the people. Tell the people we're dealing with 60-year infrastructure building. We have to invest or we're going to continue to see the mess that we're seeing.
So we are right on the tip of a big election, and one of the issues, well, actually two of them. We're going to elect a new county mayor, and we're going to elect a new sheriff in all of this, and this is going to right in their lap when they get in here to have to address and deal with this. And you talked about we just can't pace these things, to try to hold on to them and stuff like that. Realistically, Charlie, what would you say would be a timetable to make a very, very, very serious decision about either building a new jail or, what are the next steps in the process in all of this from your perspective as a commissioner?
Yeah, thank you, Jim. I say this real quick, is that one of the problems is at the state level, we've submitted a resolution to the state asking the state this. Just give the people of Shelby County the capacity to vote if they want a 1 cent a 1 cent sales tax until we raise the capital to build the new jail. Just give them the opportunity to vote on it. We didn't want to make the decision. We're asking the state to give the people, and the state legislature failed that vote, did not pass that vote to allow the people of Shelby County to make that decision on their own. And so when the state that want to send a safe task force in to lock more people up in that facility that they don't want to send resources to do anything about, and don't even want to give the people the ability to vote on us addressing it at the local level, these are some of the issues that then is pushed into the laps of 13 people on the county commission, and it just have to take some boldness. It's going to take more revenue because we only have two ways: property tax or sales tax to get revenue to do anything. And so when you ask, was it necessary? More, in my opinion, was necessary because you got 5 maintenance of efforts: the sheriff department, the mayor office, the election commission, the infrastructure, and education already locks in majority of the budget. The only thing you got left is the wages that we pay the people. So what do you get the revenue to do anything here if the state and the federal government don't invest?
What is your opinion about what is happening in terms of education? We have this oversight board that has been selected to oversee the day-to-day operations of an elected school board. There is a lawsuit that has been filed. A county commission is part of that lawsuit as well. What is the inherent problem that you see in all of this?
Well, let me say this, is that even seeing the body that was selected, I like a lot of the people on that body. I think that the advisory of what they can bring to the table would be very valuable to us as a people. I hope that we still negotiate what that looks like. When it comes to the lawsuit part, it's just the fact that we got to look at that the state pushed their rights on people's voices that were elected into office just 2 years prior, to say that they forget what the people, and not just 2 years, some of them just got elected in the primaries in May, saying forget what the people voted for. We know what's best for the people. Now, mind me, yes, some things may not have been done that you don't like. But when you start a president and don't fight back when presidents are set like this, the ball just keep on rolling. Well, the next thing is we don't like how the county commission voted for a slight increase to address something that we won't do nothing about. And now we're going to get them, put people over them. It just sets a precedent that we can't just continue as a county, sit back and say it's okay. But I hope that advisory board can, in some capacity, even if this lawsuit do go forward, work with us and let's get something done, because yes, something needs to be addressed at a higher level to get something done for our children and families. And that's what I'm hoping that we get to that point.
Finally, one thing that is absolutely going to change in terms of the election process is the county commission. There are going to be several new members that are going to join you and a couple of others in all of this. What is your, looking forward in all of this? What are your hopes in terms of these newly elected officials that will join you as a member of this body? As we have some, as you said earlier, extraordinarily critical issues that need to be addressed on several levels. What are you hoping for with the newly elected members, whoever they might be?
Yeah, first is unify. First, let's sit down and let's unify. Let's come together on a collective vision. One of the things at the end of the day, and I know in my district, I don't just represent Democrats. I represent independents, Republicans, and I sit down with many of them many times of the day and talk about those type of issues. We hold regular stakeholder meetings in my district. So we have to unify about what can be a collective vision. How do we get there? Let's break down this budget. Let's look at the things that need to be really addressed and looked at that may have been overlooked over these years because of investments that were being made. But let me say this, that since I've been on this body, a new mental health jail is being built out there that should have been built. 700 plus individuals are sitting in 201 Poplar that needed to be in a mental health facility. We're building that facility now. A new Regional 1 that should have been built is being built. Brand new schools that should have been built are being built. So how do we put our unified voices together to say, how do we continue to building on the forward motions of what's happening from this body, not just looking at the distractions that was, again, that's in place because of lack of unity and coming together with one voice. That's what I'm hoping that we'll do, because I know we got some great people that's going to be a part of this body. Mark Bensley, who was formerly Commissioner, Derek Mills out in Collierville, who seemed not to have an opponent who would be on this as a Republican. Let's sit down. Let's talk. And let's talk about how to have a unified voice around moving Shelby County forward, move parties out the way, and move Shelby County forward.
County Commissioner Charlie Caswel, ladies and gentlemen. Charlie, it's always great to catch up with you. And, of course, we will stay in touch as time moves along down the road. But I really appreciate your time, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your leadership, man. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, Charlie. Appreciate that. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we are not quite done yet. We have one more guest, and we're gonna shift gears completely and talk about technology. The future of technology is here now, and I'm going to talk to a young man who knows a lot about that. This is Real Talk Memphis. Don't go away. There's still more show to go.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Jerry, and you're listening to WYXR 91.7 FM Memphis. My show Without a Net Radio, coming to you from 8 to 10 p.m. every Sunday night. I'll be playing you some good music. Tune in and listen.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
Welcome back to the big broadcast on this Monday evening. You know, technology for older folks like myself is moving at light speed, and I'm very thankful that this next generation that is coming up seems to be very interested and locked in to what is happening. My next guest is over a group, an organization in this town that I think is doing amazing things with our young folks, especially when we're dealing with the world of technology. Please welcome to the show, Meka Egwuekwe. He is the CEO of Code Crew, and a lot of us have heard about Code Crew, but my friend, you are doing it. Thank you for being on the show tonight. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me, Chip. It's great to see you again, and I'm excited for this conversation.
So listen, you know, we've talked in the past about technology and it is importance today. XAI is something that all of us here, whether we understand it or not, that's a whole different ball of wax. But the future is now, and you are working with young folks who are really grabbing a hold to this. Why is this such a big deal, and why is Code Crew making such inroads with our young folks in reference to it?
Well, I mean, it's a big deal because the future is now. I mean, AI is something a few decades ago we used to laugh about. AI has been around since the 50s, but now AI is actually having a transformative impact on our economy. And we need to make sure that our young people in Memphis and really all across the country that they're happening to the technology and not the other way around. We don't want the technology to happen to them. And so we think it's critically important in the 21st century that an education be ready for the 21st century, including having agency and leadership in artificial intelligence and emerging technologies in general. So Code Crew, we were founded in 2015 with this idea of connecting kids and adults to computer science education, trying to get algorithms on their menus before they're on the menus of the algorithms. And now with AI having taken such a foothold on so much investment, we want to make sure that our communities are directing how this technology advances for the betterment of humanity.
One of the things that I know is important to you, and I've heard people talk about it, is not taking the human equation out of technology, not just technology taking over for the human equation, but the human equation of being able to control that. And I know that's very important to you as well, is it not?
Absolutely. In fact, the temptation with artificial intelligence right now for businesses and for individuals alike is to let the AI run with things to the point where we're outsourcing our thinking to artificial intelligence, and we shouldn't be doing that. We have to remember to keep AI in its place, that we are the thought leaders and it is the thought partner. And so it's a very real danger for us as human beings to get to where we forfeit our creativity, we forfeit our communication skills, we forfeit all these things to AI. What we need to be doing is again placing AI in a partnership position to help us. It's amazing technology; it can do amazing things to help us, but in the end, we need to keep that human in the loop. AI can't do certain things; it can't do human judgment, for example, and oftentimes the very question is whether or not to use AI for certain tasks or topics, or whether or not AI makes the right decision that, in terms of whether or not it makes sense for a given application. I've seen some horror stories out there of what AI has done, including deleting databases for customer systems and so forth. And then the AI simply apologizes at the end and said, "Oops, I didn't mean to do that." And then you lost all your data, right? These kinds of mistakes that humans wouldn't make. And so the human in the loop is still an important part of the greater equation as we settle this wild, wild west of this moment of AI and we're figuring out its proper place.
Yeah, very interesting. This whole topic of all of this. Now, one of the things that you take great pride in, and you're having an event is coming up here pretty soon. It's called the Hackathon, and I want you to explain to our audience what that is about and what fascinates you the most about these young people who come to this, and some of their mind-blowing concepts as a result of it.
Sure. So thank you. On next week, July 16th through the 18th, that's Thursday through Saturday, we're hosting kids in grades 5 through 12 for our 12th annual hackathon. Each year we do a different theme for our hackathon. It's really a group of young people coming together over a 3-day period to build applications and build solutions and compete on teams for prizes. This year's theme is one that's focused on music, tech, and AI, and how young people can use tech and AI to impact the music industry. Now, we're not bringing them together to where they're using AI to then write songs. We know AI can do that, but that's not what's interesting. What kinds of solutions will they come up with when they apply these skills of AI and emerging technology broadly to the music industry? Will they come up with solutions that, for concerts, for example, that use AI to improve traffic flow? Will they come up with ideas like how to use AI to help those who are hearing impaired or visually impaired have a better concert experience? Right? Will they use AI to help a young singer or a young burgeoning musician to tutor them to become better musicians? These are some of our ideas, but what are the ideas that these young people are going to come up with? Every year they amaze us with what they come up with in terms of the great ideas that they do. And we've had them actually submit their ideas to the Congressional App Challenge. Our students at Code Crew have won 5 out of the last 6 years of the Congressional App Challenge for our congressional district.
Look at that.
Some have even gone on to DC to showcase their work at the U.S. Capitol. Our hackathon is the conduit through which young people do that. And so we're inviting kids grades 5 through 12 to come and join us. Parents, grandparents, drop your kids off with us. It's $12 for the 3 days. They get a T-shirt. We feed them every day, and they may come home with laptops, Beats headphones, and all kinds of other prizes. So it's an investment well worth making.
Now, this is a big deal. It really is, and it's exciting to be able to tap into the minds, the creative minds of these young folks. So these kids today have it a lot better than we did when I was coming up. You know, we didn't have the tools and the technology that they have today. But what they can do with it and how they figure this stuff out so quickly, to me, is just extraordinary. And you seem to have tapped into that in a pretty big way. You really have.
Well, we try to make it fun for them. So kids come and they always have a great time. And they come all 3 days. They don't want to go home. We had some kids come from out of state actually to our hackathon pretty regularly. And some of them were asking their parents how they can move to Memphis. And so that's how much fun they have. Okay. And we have fun just seeing them in action in terms of what they come up with. And so and we make it fun with a DJ. We're giving away prizes all weekend too. So it's not just the grand prizes, but opportunities for them to win things that are aligned to the theme. I won't spoil all the prizes, but I'll let some out of the bag. But you must be present to win, and we encourage them to do so.
If somebody listening to this, Meka, wants to know more about Code Crew and how you do what you do, how can they reach out to you, contact-wise?
The easiest thing is to go to our website. It's code-crew.org. That's code-crew.org. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Go to our website or go to our social media. We're on all the social media, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all of them. Reach out to us that way. Certainly you can call us at 901-229-1720. That's 901-229-1720. Certainly you can email us as well, team, that's TEAM, at code-crew.org. And so, but the website, go to our website first, look at the hackathon graphic, the flyer that's there, click on that, and sign your kids up. And for any families for whom even the $12 is a hardship, we have some scholarships available too. So we really are less interested in the $12 and more interested in the time with your kids and how they're going to step into their brilliance through applying technology to solving music industry problems.
It's a big deal, man. Meka Egwuekwe, he is the CEO of Code Crew, doing an absolutely amazing job with our young folks, man. Meka, it is great to see you. Thanks for coming on the show, and best of luck with the hackathon, man.
Thanks so much. Great to be back. And we're looking for volunteers too, technical and non-technical volunteers, as well as mentors. And so if you're in the music industry that way, but whether you're in the music industry or not, volunteers, reach out to us as well at our website.
Yes, sir.
Thanks so much again, Chip. Great to see you again.
You too, my friend. Thank you. That's good stuff. That's really, really, really good stuff. That about wraps it up for us this evening. Before we go, there's a new, fresh edition of Event Horizon, hosted by Bryn Butler, that is coming your way next. You know, one of the things that I hope that technology can fix, Bryn, is my tongue, because I can't seem to talk tonight. I don't know what's happening here. But anyway, you have a nice musical display for us this evening.
Yeah, we do. Although no AI tools tonight for myself, but. We'll be going through a couple of different genres, some surprises in the second half as well. Okay, all right.
Well, listen, a lot of you tuning into this show because you never know what mood Bryn is in when he starts things, but he will be coming your way in just a minute as he plays us out. I want to thank all my guests for being a part of the show tonight. Really, really good show. Really, really good information tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like what we do each and every week on Real Talk Memphis, you should go out and tell somebody to tune us in and listen. And speaking of, we have a site on YouTube. You can go to YouTube and you'll see our Real Talk Memphis page, and it's nicely designed. Lulu, our producer, she designed that page. And subscribe, first of all, and secondly, listen to the shows, because we put a little effort into doing these things. So go to YouTube. Now, I know there's a lot of stuff on there, but just go to where it says Real. Is it right? Am I right, Lulu? Real Talk Memphis. Real Talk Memphis, and you'll see a picture of me, nice, clean graphic. It looks good. Check it out. So for all of us here at Real Talk Memphis, I appreciate you, and I say thank you, as I always do each and every week. The Lord says so. We'll be back here next week, try to do it all over again, just a little bit better. So for Lulu, for Brand, who's coming up next, so don't go away, and yours truly, thank you, Memphis. I appreciate you always. And as I always say, till next time, see you.